Picture this. You're chilling on a couch, mindlessly scrolling through your phone while your favorite TV show plays in the background. Or maybe you're in a Zoom meeting trying to listen to the speaker while sneakily checking out a bunch of other tabs. And let's be real, who hasn't brought their phone into the bathroom for some extra screen time? Sound familiar, right? We get it. We're all living in this crazy fast-paced digital world. We're constantly bombarding our brains with new info, trying to stay up to date. And multitasking seems like the way to go, right? But guess what? Overloading your brain with too much at once does not make you more productive. Instead, it can actually do more harm than good to you. So in this video, we're gonna break down 3 ways information overload messes with your brain. And hey, stick around because in the second part, we've got 3 killer tips to help you regain control of your mind. No more waiting, let's dive in. Impact number 1, anxiety. Research has shown the constant exposure to information can significantly heighten feelings of stress and anxiety. Several studies have discovered that individuals reporting higher levels of information overload also experienced increased anxiety and decreased well-being. This isn't surprising when you think about it. The more information we have to process, the harder our brains have to work, leading to a persistent state of tension and worry. Now, here's where science steps in to provide an explanation. Our brains are wired to thrive on novelty. It constantly craves new information and experiences. However, when bombarded with an endless stream of novelty, our brains end up working overtime, attempting to process all the information while craving even more. This overload can elevate levels of the stress hormone cortisol, resulting in restlessness, stress, and anxiety. A study involving 1,000 Brits also backs this up with a result over a third feeling stressed by today's information overload, struggling to relax and constantly feeling on edge. And it's not just a minor concern. 2/3 view the need to keep track of all this information as a major concern in their lives. Essentially, while technology has advanced rapidly, our brains have yet to catch up. They are not equipped to handle the vast amounts of data we are bombarding them with, leading to stress-related brain problems that disrupt our sleep and overall well-being. Impact number 2, memory and focus are at risk. When we are bombarded with a constant stream of information, our brains struggle to keep up, which can seriously mess with our ability to remember things and stay focused. Dr. David Levi, a professor at the Information School at the University of Washington, calls this continuous partial attention. It's like we're always on the lookout for something new, never fully able to focus on one thing. This constant scanning for information makes it tough to dive deep into our thoughts. With all this going on, it's no wonder we struggle to concentrate and finish tasks smoothly. And when we're constantly switching between tasks, our working memory takes a hit too. Working memory refers to the system in our brain responsible for temporarily holding and manipulating information necessary for tasks such as reasoning, comprehension, and decision-making. It allows us to keep relevant information in mind, make connections between new and existing information, and use that information to guide our behavior. It's essential for everyday activities like following directions, problem solving, and decision making. However, working memory is a limited resource and can become overwhelmed when we're presented with too much information at once, leading to difficulties in concentration, memory retrieval, and decision making. Hey, do you enjoy what you're learning so far? If yes, hit the subscribe button so that more people can discover and benefit from this video. Alright, now on to impact number 3, loss of creativity. When our brains are constantly bombarded with information, there's little room left for creativity to flourish. It's like our minds become cluttered with so much data that there's no space for imaginative thinking to thrive. Without that mental breathing room, it becomes challenging for new ideas to take root and grow. Renowned brain expert David Levitin describes multitasking as a diabolical illusion that exhausts our brains, leaving no room for rest. A report from UC San Diego reveals that on average, we process a staggering 34 gigabytes or 100,000 words each day, spending approximately 11.8 hours consuming information. Every Facebook post, tweet, or text competes for our attention, keeping our brains in consumption mode, constantly absorbing information without pause for reflection. We're drowning in info, and the challenge here, sorting the important from the junk and delving deep into anything. We only pay attention to a tiny fraction, disregarding the rest. All of this can stifle our creative thinking processes, making it more difficult to generate original ideas or innovative solutions. Stay tuned until the end of the video, where we'll share scientifically backed tips on how to counter this issue and preserve your creative thinking skills. Make sure you watch until the end. Alright, now we've come to the second part of the video, where we'll share 3 tips on how to thrive in this era of information overload. Number 1. Get rid of FOMO. FOMO, or fear of missing out, is a sneaky psychological phenomenon that makes us constantly check our phones and social media, fearing we'll miss something big. This fear leads to information overload because we are always consuming more data to stay in the loop. But what triggers FOMO is fueled by a mix of social pressure, comparison, and a constant need for validation. To break free from this cycle, consider a social media detox. Start by reducing your screen time, unfollowing accounts that don't add value, and scheduling regular breaks from social platforms. Practice mindfulness and focus on the present moment instead of obsessing over what others are doing. Set boundaries for yourself and stick to them. Limit your scrolling time and turn off notifications to regain control. Remember, it's okay to miss out on some things, and it's more important to learn to prioritize your well-being over the fear of missing out. By taking practical steps to conquer FOMO, you'll find yourself less overwhelmed by information overload and more present in your own life. Tip number 2. Avoid multitasking. Multitasking might seem like the ultimate productivity hack, but it's actually a recipe for information overload. When we try to do too many things at once, our brains struggle to keep up, leading to decreased efficiency and increased stress. One of the biggest culprits, constantly attending to messages throughout the day. To combat this, set aside specific times to check and respond to messages, allowing you to focus fully on other tasks without distractions. Another strategy is to prioritize tasks using the Pareto principle, which is focused on the 20% of tasks that yield 80% of the results. Additionally, consider batching similar tasks together and dedicating themed days to specific types of work. For instance, designate Mondays for meetings and planning, Tuesdays for creative work, and so on. By minimizing multitasking and adopting these time management techniques, you'll boost productivity and reduce information overload. If you want to dive deeper into these 3 time management tips, check out a video linked above titled Time Management. This is how successful people manage their time. Alright, now we've reached the final tip of our video today on dealing with information overload and staying creative. Tip number 3. Confront boredom. Now, you might wonder, why would we advocate for boredom? Well, because it can be incredibly productive. And yes, this is proven by scientific research. When we allow ourselves moments of boredom, our minds are free to wander and explore new ideas. Without the constant bombardment of information, our brains have the opportunity to make unexpected connections and come up with innovative solutions. Some of history's greatest ideas and inventions have emerged from moments of boredom. Therefore, instead of filling every spare moment with distractions, Consider embracing boredom as an opportunity for creativity to flourish. Disconnect from devices, take a stroll, or simply allow yourself to daydream. You'll be surprised at the ideas that surface when you give your mind the space to be bored. If you want to learn more interesting facts, check out our next video here on 5 reasons why you need to stop watching the news. See ya!